Hi, this is Cindy. I wanted to share just a few Excel tips with you that might save you a little bit of time as you're working in this spreadsheet application. So what I have here is a list. You might have come across things like this before. I have two columns. The first column is first names, the second column is last names, and I actually want to put those together to make the first and last name in one cell. So with the new flash fill feature that's available in 2013, this could not be any easier. So what I do is I click into cell C1 and I type out the first one exactly the way I want it. That's easy. I hit enter to go down to the next row and watch what happens. As soon as I hit S in Scott, Excel guesses that this is what I'm wanting to accomplish. I get a preview of it. Look, all I've done is hit the S. It previews it, and I think that's exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard, and it flash fills every one of those cells with the combination of the first name from column A and the last name from column B. Now, unfortunately, the act of separating the names into two different columns is not quite as easy. Flashfill doesn't work for that. However, there is an easy way to do it, so don't stress over that. But here I have a spreadsheet that's got first and last names together in one cell. What I'm going to do is highlight all of those names, highlight anything. It doesn't have to be names. In this case it is, but it could be anything I wanted to separate out. I'm going to click on the Data tab and click on the tool called Text to Columns. I want to leave it on delimited, click Next, and then the default is Tab. Well, I don't have a tab in here, so what we're going to do is uncheck Tab and watch this preview of the data down here when I click the word space, because I do have a space in this cell. So when I click space, it puts the break right after the space in the cell. So if I had a comma in the cell, I could put the break right after the comma or the semicolon or any other icon or any other letter or character that I had. So I've selected space. You see it separates. I don't even have to click next, because what next is going to do is ask me where I want to put the names, but it automatically defaults to put them in the second column. So I'm going to click finish. And notice it just separated first names, last names. So not quite as easy as the flash fill, but it was really easy to do. Now, we got a question earlier today about how to change the case in an Excel spreadsheet. If you're in Microsoft Word, there is an easy option that allows you to change case. You just highlight the paragraph and you tell it you want to change case to all caps, to lowercase, or to the proper sentence format. Unfortunately, it's not quite as easy as that, but there is a trick that will save you time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to write a formula. So it doesn't matter where I put it. I'm going to move over just to cell C1 just to give me a little room. When you enter a formula in Excel, you always have to start with the equal symbol. So I typed in the equal symbol, and then what I want to do in this case is change from caps into the proper case. So the actual word of the formula is proper. So I type in the word proper. So I've got equal, proper, then I have to put opening parentheses, and I can either type in the cell number that the word is in, but I don't have to do that. It's easier to me to move my mouse and come click on cell A1, and then I actually have to type in the closing parentheses. So now my formula says equal, proper, parentheses, A1, closing parentheses. And when I hit enter, you will notice that it has turned the contents of A1 into proper case. Now I can highlight or just click to select that cell, click on this fill dot, drag down. When I let go, you'll notice it repeats the formula that we did here, the action we did here, it repeats that on all of those cells. So that kind of is a time saver. Now, you're not finished yet. Here's what happens. If I delete this column, watch what happens. It messes everything up. So I'm going to undo that action. It's because these cells don't actually say Ricky Godey, Deanne Hanlon, Cindy Tucker. They actually the say equals proper, and then it's referencing back to A5. So what I need to do now is highlight this column, or I can highlight just this text. I'm going to right click and copy, or I could Control C copy, or I could, home on the home tab, I could copy. And then I need to paste. I can paste it right over any of these other cells, or I can paste it into a new column. Just for lack of confusion, I'm just going to paste it here. Right click. I want to paste the values, not the regular paste, the values. Now, when I delete the contents of these cells, it still keeps those because that's actually calling Clara. That's no longer a formula referencing another cell. So we're going to do it one more time. In this case, I've got a bunch of names and they're all lowercase. So what I want to do is I'm going to come into this cell, equal, and this time, maybe I want them to be uppercase. I can type in upper, open parentheses, click on the cell I want, close the parentheses, enter, click, drag that fill down dot so that it repeats that. If I want to do the proper version, equal, proper, open parentheses, come over here, I need to pick A1, close the parentheses, I select that cell, fill down. Then the last step, I've got all of these highlighted, I need to copy, and then I need to paste the values. Then I can get rid of all the rest of these cells, and I have those proper case names. The very last thing I'm going to show you is how to create a list that you can use in your fill down features. To create a custom autofill list, I am going to highlight all of the data. Then I want to go to File, Options, click on the Advanced section, and then you're going to scroll down to the section called General. So it's not the General tab over here, it's the Advanced tab, this section called General. And there's a button, we're almost all the way down, there's a button called Edit Custom Lists. So I click Edit Custom Lists. You can see the lists, the text lists that are available to you. I'm going to go ahead and I could create a new list from here. I could hit add and just create my own. But since I've already highlighted this text, I'm going to click the import button, and notice it imported all the names. If I needed to add a name and realize, oh, I didn't put this person in there, I could do that. If I needed to delete someone out, I could. I click OK and then tell it OK again. I'm going to just open a new sheet and just click anywhere. So I've got Lisa's name here. When I click on her name, I can drag down and you see, now it's going to start over again, that I have created a custom fill list in about 30 seconds that I can use anytime I open Excel. Now this is specific to this computer, Excel in this computer, but if I closed this document and opened a brand new spreadsheet, that custom fill list is still going to be there. So I can see this being helpful to create a custom list of your teachers, to create a custom list of students. If you work at administration, you might create a custom list of the campus names so that you don't always have to retype them and you can very easily grab that list. Hopefully these tips will be helpful as you work in Excel. And if you have any other questions, let me know.